All right, guys, gals, welcome back to Step 1 Survival. I've got another unique blade from Tops Knives. They support me, so you support them by going and picking out one of their blades. Get one for yourself. They're 120% made in the USA. I mean, it's 101%. I like saying that. This is the B.E.S.T. It's called the B.E.S.T. Short for B.E.S.T. It's a really cool knife. It's one of the first that they ever produced. Comes with, they all come with the, almost dropped it, the oil. Comes with this sheath. You could continue using this sheath. It's perfectly fine. Comes with a survival whistle. Nothing wrong with what you have here, but I need something different, and I like making unusual, unique, one-off, one-of-a-kind, different for the survivalist, the conspiracy theory, the person that believes in aliens, whoever it is out there. Black Eagle Strike Team B.E.S.T. Pretty cool. I like this. This is nuts. That is a good looking knife. You know it is. That is. These tones right here. That's cool. That's a good looking blade. Thick bad boy, I tell you. You ain't gonna break that sucker. But it's got a lot of uses to it. In the angle, and for all different types of uses, it's a well-rounded knife. So that's the most important thing about it. I'm going to take you over here and we'll do some measurements on it, and then we'll get started making the sheet. I've already got some of my tools laid out here because I've already pretty much started. Had to make the pouches first. You got to let those kind of set overnight. They have to dry so they can take shape. Wanted to just get crazy with this sheath too, like I do with most of them. Let's figure out the blade side. How much blade we're working with here. So that's a little over 6.5, and just a cutting edge. Then if you're going from here to here, you've got 7. So overall that would be 7. And then back this way, let's talk about your gripping area. It looks like it's 5. It seems to be pretty steady with most of the blades you get that are in full size, where the blade portion or the grip portion is 5 or beyond 5. For most of the bigger knives, that is. And let's do the overall. I had to use this earlier to cut something. Try and get it as on point as I can, but it's kind of hard with, but that'll work. As it's overall 12.5. That's how long it is. 12.5. That's really cool. It's a good looking blade. All right, now for this one, I always like to come over to my crazy drawer of fun here. This is retired drawer system from a medical world hospital. So it was handed out as given. So for those that need it, I've got all kinds of stuff that I never can decide what I want to use. You know, spare multi-tools, spare compasses and stuff, paracord. You know, I go through, I got medical kits in here. That's another good item to add to this. I could probably put that in there. That's like a boo-boo kit, but it's from My Medic. So that's kind of cool. But every one of these I have to go through and decide, because each one of these has something survival related, and I usually have to go through them to see what I want to pick out for these. This This one here, this is a recent most popular item. I thought would be really cool to take along if you had this. If you had to grab only one thing, instead of grabbing a bug out bag, but if you got skills, you're that dude with skills and you know stuff, you don't need a bug out bag. You could bring just a knife, you know, because you don't want to go trying to forge a knife in the woods. You don't want to go trying to forge paracord in the woods, because that ain't going to happen. Your ropes, cordage, all that stuff. Shelters, you want to build one right away. But you didn't bring an axe. So this turns into a tomahawk, okay? It's got many other tools in conjunction with it. And this is from Lucky Gear, people. Lucky Jack. Lucky Jack also makes this. This is another hunting and fishing tool that can be used. All these pieces come out. It's a nice little card tool. It all goes back in its little home when you're done, and it's full size, so it's not weak. It won't bend and break, but I wanted to incorporate that into this one. But that's got a magnetic sticky behind it. If I put those two together, you'll be pretty much unstoppable in situations. So, multi-tool. I'm putting in, it's the most affordable one on the internet. And yes, it looks just like a Leatherman, and it has the same exact tools, but it's not a Leatherman. So I did a video on a short for this one. So I do a lot of shorts on stuff like this. That's just an empty box. So I thought about bringing some more of this. It's the peels. They don't make this anymore. Something that I've shown on the channel bajillions of times is no longer manufactured. This is magnesium capsules. Figured I would share that they don't make them anymore because the Stanford Outdoor Supply place, I don't even think it exists anymore. I think somebody might have bought them. I'm not sure who did. There's been tough times for a lot of folks. All right, so I'm going with this. That is a magnesium rod. You can scrape off magnesium. It burns at 6,000 degrees Celsius, and it can burn through a 2x4 if you build up enough of it. And then this is your ferrocenium rod for striking, for making fire, like a flint, right? And I'm putting in my, you got your, there's different models, the P models of your can openers, but this is another one of those. It's the smaller one, can opener, that I went with. You just open it up like that. It kind of locks, but you bring it out to hole like that. Then you stick it in the side of your can and then just rotate all the way around it. It's a military can opener, but a lot of folks will say, oh, I know what that is. And, or if you know what this is, then you're cool. Remember those? You can be cool if you remember what that is. This is the compass I'm going with. I always like this one here. It's made out of titanium, so it's like indestructible. Now it's got with this compass, it does something very unique. You can rotate this guy out here. Let's bring this all the way out. That it unlocks every ring, and then it stops, okay, so that it pivots like this and this. So when you're carrying it, it stays balanced. It's kind of neat. So you just undo it, but you can play with it too. It's like a fidget. You can spin it and all that crap. But you unlock it so that it stays level. And you just twist it back together, and then it locks it back in place. Just like this. Ta-da! Now it won't go anywhere. And this is the pace counter I'm going to go with. I'm going with a Viking runestone style pace counter. I know I've gone with like skulls and beads before, but this is just standard beads. Got a 9 count on one side, 5 on the other. That gets you up to 3 miles if you're in the US and you want to pace count to 3 miles. But this would let you know when you're at 3 miles. Just hang it off your gear, pull one down, get with your pace. Once you reach through the whole 9 set, then you bring them all back up, you pull one down, and then you continue until you reach the end of this, and that would come to 3 miles. But anyways, as long as you know how to count pace. I did a video on pace counting, those of you that are interested. Water purification. A Whirl-Pak works just fine for making water. That's going to be my bandage kit if I need a band-aid. Got a couple of tenders I'm going to throw in there. A fishing kit. That's got everything you're going to need. Don't lose any of that stuff. That's a replacement pieces for my multi-tool. There's the multi-tool. Spare tools. That is a much larger saw. It actually lets you swap out the saw blades. There's your tips and a sewing kit. And I think that just about covers all the stuff I wanted to pack in there. I could come up with way more stuff to put in there, but you know, grams equals pounds equals pain. So you don't want to get too heavy and lugging this thing around. So, but I think that's going to be plenty because the blade doesn't weigh that much, and adding this stuff will add just a little bit more weight, but it won't be punishing. So moving on. All right, I've got this piece cut out here. Another unusual shape. I didn't want to do blade stops here because some folks will take these and just cut them in half, be 2 pieces. They'll do a blade stop all the way around the blade. That's this here, where they kind of put a piece of leather here, so when the blade hits it, it stops it from cutting the stitches. So I call it a blade stop. You can call it something else you want. Anyway, over here, I wanted this to have some kind of like false cover, like a false cover, just kind of like chaps, wearing, you know the buttless chaps. I can't say that. I don't want to say the other word. Anyways, your buttless chaps. So kind of like having some buttless chaps for your knife. I did this design here so that it kind of gives that false impression that this goes all the way around it, but it doesn't. I want it to be a real simple snap style design. So this will come together like this. I have to come up with a design for the bottom right here. I haven't come up with that yet, but I've got this part narrowed out. This is going to connect in here. This is going to have that false impression that it goes all the way around. And then there's going to be a snap that would come around the blade, just like any other thing. And then we're going to do some pouches. You want to make sure when you do pouches that they won't look this yucky when they get on there. Y'all know my blades. Anyways, so it's always a rough start. Anyways, so this guy here, I want the multi-tool to come up in the front. So that's going to go somewhere right in there. This guy, I'm going to do a reverse drop. So that way if I take a knee, when I take a knee, I can flip this down and then pull out the pouch and start doing whatever I want to do with it. It's just a lot easier to access. Because if you turn it around like this, I've seen people do this before. You turn it around like this, you're not getting that out. Your Altoids 10 is going to stay in there and it ain't coming out. Or it's going to be really difficult to get out. Now some people will shape these differently. They make the opening here so that the Altoid 10 slides out sideways. So you could do it like that so it comes out in the front. It's that way still when you take a knee, you can still pull your Altoids 10 out and do whatever you're doing. Start a fire or whatever it is. But anyways, that's that. And then you want to leave this gap here. This is not a scout carry knife. It's way too big for that. What you want to do here, this is going to leave an opening for a gadget of sorts. You want to put your compass here or whatever. You can put something there. On the sides here, you want to leave room for your, one side would have your magnesium. One side will have your ferro. So you want to make sure you got room for the rods to go on left and right. In the middle could be your compass, or you can come up with something else. You know what I mean? Whatever it is you're working with is kind of how you're making it all fit. But that's just what I have to do when I'm mapping this stuff out. But that's that part there. Now I got to figure out what to do on the back end, what to do at the bottom, and just get it cut. So it's all trial and error. All right, guys, here it is, completed. It's a painful process. It's nighttime. I can't go outside when it's dark and you're not going to be able to see it. And I wanted to wrap up and I wanted to be able to show this to you. It's a lot of work. So I went with the loops, loops that just snap in here, and that holds the magnesium, and then that holds the ferro rod. And pace counter, it's real simple. It just clicks in here. Compass, I went ahead and just did the whole. I've done this quite a bit where I couldn't decide if I wanted it up here or if I wanted it down here. I don't have anything down here that's going to screw up the compass, so I'm going to put it down here. Sometimes when I do these, I'll end up with like a flashlight nearby with the battery, or it's like magnetic on one side or something, and I'll mount the compass there, and then it kind of messes with it, but you just take it out when you use it, so it doesn't really mess with it. It only messes with it when it's in the sheath. So anyways, I just did a standard loop down here. It's just a loop, that's all it is. I did a extra blade stop in there just to hold this tight, so when the blade comes in, it doesn't try cutting through the leather that I've already put in place here to fill that in. I made this where it just unsnaps so that you can just put it on and off. Plus you could also loop in and put it on a backpack. That's kind of what I was going for. Be able to put it on a backpack or something like that. Simple design here. Like I said, this is just a false impression that it goes all the way around when it doesn't. It's just it goes part of the snap for the blade. And I just did a lanyard here, and this already had leather, so I went ahead and incorporated it. I thought it looked nice. And the pace counter is a good deal. I did where it disconnects here so that you could actually use the can opener and everything separate from the ferro rod and everything else, so you could just unloop it here and use it in case you're using it more often. Multi-tool and everything's in here. The backup hatchet and the broadhead kit, it's in here. With I got this small, I just use a small thin Altoids tin. It's one of the really thin ones you can get with like DC Comics or something like that. I can't remember what that one was from. The kids gave it to me. Sometimes a lot of the tins that they get, they don't keep them. They don't use them for anything, so they just give them to me. Down here for paracord cordage, I took the cordage off the hatchet and I incorporated it into here. I used it in with the braid. So all you do is just slip this off, give it a yank, and it'll all completely unravel. A lot of times people will build these paracord bracelets where it's in this type of weave. You guys have seen me do like the sailor's braid and all that stuff. Well, these, everybody does these. So, but the easy part about this is you just pull it off here, just give it a pull, and it'll completely unravel. Holding it together on one end is just a Ranger band. It's basically your bike inner tube that's cut, and they work really good for fire as well because it's rubber, but it puts off a lot of smoke. So if you need a smoke signal, you could always use one of those too. That's it, I guess. Yeah, that about does it. Knife comes out real easy. It's a really good looking knife. The main point of this whole video is this knife right here, and it is an amazing beast. Get it? Like my pun? Anyways, please share. It's free to share, and it's free to like, and it's free to hit the hype button if you want to help me out. Let's spread the joy of leather and building survival kits. And I'm sure somebody out there is going to say, hey, oh, what are you going to do with that thing? It's just going to sit around. I do this all the time. You know, this stuff helps me forget about what's going on in the world. You know, there's nothing I can do about everything that goes on in the world, but I can make sheaths, and that relaxes me. And I hope it relaxes you too. And God bless, take care, and stay sane.